Oh, hi there. Welcome to the pod. I'm Dylan James Weaver, but most folks around here just call me Dylan. Why don't you get the whole family together and join us for another exciting episode of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod. Hello and welcome to the Wad Fam Chalk Pod. I'm Dylan Weaver.
And I'm Andrew Sabo.
Man, I'm bringing so much energy, and Andrew's just like, and I'm Andrew Sabo.
That's my bad. You know, I started taking ashwagandha route, and I'm just like, I'm riding this real chill train right now. There's just so much less cortisol in my brain right now. It's great.
Wow, that does sound like a market improvement for Andrew Sabo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I need the help.
Whereas I am on all the stimulants.
Hey, yeah.
No, that's a joke. I'm not. I'm just high on life.
Oh,
is that
I think that might be worse.
Nothing like being high on life in October of 2020.
Yeah.
It's great.
That sounds like a bad trip, brother.
All right. So, we're talking about episode 853, The Good in People.
Indeed. This is... I have feelings about this episode, and they're very conflicted.
I don't think mine are conflicted. I think mine are just negative.
Okay. That's good. Because that validates the part of me that did not like it. I'm okay with liking it a little bit.
So, this is an episode written and directed by Phil Lawler.
That shows.
I want the record to show that I didn't say that, Andrew did. I just thought it.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Phil. It's a good episode. Not your best, but good.
This episode, now, thanks to Gianna, we have this information. First released on the Adventures in Odyssey Club on August 2nd of 2018, and then aired on the radio November 3rd of 2018.
Wow. Thanks, Gianna.
I know. I love having that info. It makes me feel so
warm
nice.
And fuzzy. We're just all friends helping each other out.
Yeah,
it's a great
look
time.
at that. It is track 4 on album 65. Expect the Unexpected.
And the unexpected is Mystery Men.
I think from the picture, it's someone choking on puzzle pieces.
Yeah, I thought they were jelly beans, but I'm just hungry.
Oh,
so
no, actually, I think you're right. I think that they are not puzzle pieces. I think they are candy that is color sorted.
Wow.
I don't know. I haven't listened. Maybe they're marbles. They're just little dots of color.
Why? How could he? Why would a puzzle piece be in his mouth? Why would a marble be in his mouth?
I don't know. I don't know why I thought they were puzzle pieces. Don't judge me, Chalk Squad.
No, I think you said those look like puzzle pieces, and I was like, you're right. Those do look like puzzle pieces.
I don't want 1,000 emails about this. Let me
don't
just
flatter yourself. Get like 3, okay?
Oh wait, it looks like the description. Olivia Parker and Zoe Grant look at Jay Smouse as he chokes on jelly beans.
I stand victorious.
Did you say they were jelly beans from the get-go?
They were jelly beans from the get-go.
All right. Andrew has officially bested me.
Odyssey
I want the record
loves
to state
jelly
that.
beans. I don't know why.
I mean, I love jelly beans.
Yeah, me too.
Big fan.
Solid.
So all of that was a tangent about the cover of this album, which is not taken from this episode.
Yep.
So I'm
The Good in
sorry,
People.
everyone. We're talking about the Good in People. It's the next Rydell Saga episode.
Yeah.
And it has one new cast member. A cast member who's very exciting to me. This is Kevin Michael Richardson as Jordan Windward.
What a guy.
What a man.
What a legend.
Kevin Michael Richardson, truly a legend.
Tell me, what is he from?
So he has 531 IMDb credits.
Okay. Anything
as a voice
that I
actor,
would recognize?
mostly. Andrew, this man ran like a good portion of my childhood.
Go for it.
So, most notably, for me, again, go look for yourselves, folks. Find your own things to bond to. But for me, the man voiced Gantu on Lilo and Stitch.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
He was Gantu.
That's awesome.
He also voiced Jabba in the Clone Wars.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then so those are my childhood obsessions that he was involved in. And then the other two big ones for me that are a little bit more recent that I care about are a Young Justice credit. He continues to voice Martian Manhunter and Mal Duncan in that show, which I love. And he was Sheriff Blubbs in Gravity Falls.
Hey, I just got into Gravity Falls. Well, I can't say that. I watched like half of season 1, liked it, and then I guess got distracted by Breaking Bad. I think that's how that went down.
Come on, man. I like Gravity Falls more than Breaking Bad.
Wow.
The worst take.
Wow. I mean, no, I don't think that's the worst
The thing
take.
is, Gravity Falls is like probably like right up there with Young Justice in my favorite animated shows of recent history. And
he plays Rosie in F is for Family. That's awesome.
There you go.
Wow,
There's
he
an Andrew
does
one.
everything.
I told you, man. He's been working since the 90s, and he has 531 credits, and most of them are recurring characters in series.
Wow. This guy is just he's a hustler.
Yeah.
And how did they get him?
I don't know.
Was he
they
just
got him
in the
for
studio?
Jordan Windward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he was already at Salami recording one of these other shows that he's involved in. And they were just like, hey, can you come in and sound ominous, but in a cheerful way?
And he was like,
Thanks.
I've got you.
Yeah. It is also, it's one of those things where it's just like, man, voice actors, good. They do well. Like, I could kind of be like, okay, Martian Manhunter, Gantu, Jabba, like I kind of get how those could be the same guy. None of them sound like Jordan Windward at all.
No.
Also, Gantu!
Yeah, Gantu.
I'm so excited about Gantu.
I'm really glad that you're excited about Gantu because wait, Gantu's the fat one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was never super into Lilo and Stitch. I've only seen it like 3 or 4 times in my life.
Dude, I've only seen the movie a couple times, but I also saw multiple spin-off movies and the whole series.
Yeah, I did see the whole series.
Oh, the series is the best.
It's so good.
Anyways, maybe we'll start a side podcast
where we go through Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Only if we get signed exclusively with Stitcher Podcasts, all right? It'll be great.
Lilo and Stitcher.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, boy.
Patreon exclusive.
All right. I think I'm going to roll the promo then.
Yeah, I guess that's what we do. Let's do it.
On the next adventure in Odyssey, Olivia makes a bold promise to the drama club.
What promise?
Nothing big. Just that we would all go to the drama festival at the state capitol.
But raising money for the trip might be a problem.
I may be able to help you.
I don't know, I just find it a little strange that I need money and you suddenly appear and are ready to give me some.
Is this offer too good to be true? Find out on the next adventure in Odyssey.
Not to spoil things, but yes.
Yeah.
His offer is too good to be true.
Yeah, I did not know that as far as how this episode was going, because obviously I figured that Maury was somewhat behind it the whole time. But as the episode was unfolding, I really thought that guy was like, I was really up in the air whether he was actually legit or not.
Oh, no, I was immediately like, this guy's a phony.
Nah, he was real nice, and they made him look really nice, and
yeah,
I believed him.
Yeah. Yeah. So the episode itself begins with Andrei Stotka doing the wit intro, which was really weird for me. I don't think I've heard one of those, at least not in recent. And they did a weird thing where they didn't change the script at all. Or like when they switched from Hal Smith to Paul McCusker, like he got different things to say, but then they switched to Stotka and he didn't change it. And I'm just like, I don't know why they made that choice. I wish they would have given him something slightly different so that it didn't just feel like a bad impersonation. Like I wish it felt like, oh yeah, this guy is his own wit.
Maybe and I can't say that I've paid enough attention to it to determine whether that's the case or not, but I feel like there's other different things about it, or maybe they thought that, just by changing the music so drastically.
Right. They changed the music, they changed the voice actor, obviously. The script is the same, I know, because I have to write down the scripts for when I record them, and I was like, oh, I don't have to re-record this one. That's weird.
Nice, and also disappointing, because, yeah, I like Andre Stoica. I don't think that he's great. I like hearing his voice.
Should I hire someone else who sounds kind of like me to do the intro?
Ooh.
For this one?
Do you know anybody that sounds kind of like you?
I mean, not really. Arguably my family, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Maybe if you gave your brother a long period of time to prepare, he could do a good Dylan impersonation, and then that would work. I think that's really the best situation.
No, I think I'm just going to reuse the audio because I am lazy.
Or
and I have a lot of other stuff going right now.
We bunker down, and I just grind out the best possible Dylan Weaver impression I can.
I mean, if you want to try and be me, and you have to, you have to introduce yourself as, I'm Dylan Weaver, but most people call me you have to do the script as I would say it.
Yeah.
But just in I mean, dude, you're welcome to it.
No.
Okay.
No, Ashwagandha's not that great, man. Sorry. But who knows? Maybe if I unlock the third eye of truth or whatever, I don't know what's next for me on this plant-based journey. But
oh man! All right, so we are canceling the chalk pod, and Andrew's gonna get really into naturalistic medicine.
What? This isn't a Ponzi scheme? We need to talk, Dylan.
Now I'm getting now I'm getting some Jordan Windward vibes from you. Was that a tying it in?
That was very good. That's very good. So this episode begins with, as you mentioned, weird Andre Stoica wit intro, but it's Olivia and Suzu and Maury and Wit at Wit's End, right? As having a congratulatory Sunday after Olivia has been elected the school's drama club president, and Suzu as the treasurer. Which
Maury's not there right off the bat.
Oh, he's not?
He has to creepily show up partway through.
Oh, that's right. You're right. How do we feel about Suzu being the treasurer? Because I can't tell if that's racist or not.
What?
I don't know. The whole Asian people with numbers thing.
No, I think that's a bad read, but I could be wrong. Tweet at us. Tweet at Andrew.
Please tell me. Should I be offended by this?
Because I didn't clock it at all. I thought it was them needing to make her integral to the plot, and the plot revolves around money.
Yeah, which would make a lot of sense. I guess the fact that I think ethnic people on Odyssey is really hard because you have to get across their ethnicity in a not subtle enough a way that children can understand it.
Right, and you also only have audio.
Yeah, and all you have is audio, so the accent has to be pretty thick, which I guess would make sense. But I was seeing Suzu and everything that. I was I was hesitant from it from the get-go, and I'm she's the treasurer, really?
I mean, we haven't really talked about it, but she had to have been adopted when she was rather old.
Yeah,
which is an interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, she would have had to have been adopted.
So the thing that was so weird about this to me is the last time we saw Olivia just in our covering of the Rydell Saga, which I realize skews things because it makes time weird, but the last time we saw Olivia, she was running for class president and didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's elected president of the drama department. And that just struck me as odd.
And she's elected until she steps down.
Yeah, she does step down at the end of the episode.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's worth noting within the context of this woman is just playing with life. She's
was president or she was running for president and didn't win the election. Then she got another job as president, but in a smaller capacity, and then steps down from that job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
so
for the sake of plot development, you know what?
Right. That's
she's an industrious 12-year-old presumably.
Yeah. I think she's a little bit older than 12, but
13, 14.
Yeah, it's probably 14. I don't know. She's comfortably 8th grade. We find out there wasn't much of an election. Olivia won pretty easily. I guess she was technically running against Zoe, but it didn't seem like she really. It seemed like everyone just elected her, and there's more on that later. But the one thing that Olivia did to do this is that she promised that they would get to go to the state drama festival.
Yeah.
And so this whole conversation is them sitting at the counter at Wit's End talking with Wit, which is just like, oh yeah, that feels good. I like that. And so
and they're talking about it, and Mr. Whitaker is then like talking about keeping your promises and like what does it look like for you to actually fulfill this promise. And that's where the premise of this episode is Olivia made this promise to her drama club to get them to this festival, but it's going to cost them $500 and they need $250 right away. Or
they need $250 by the end of this week and another $250 by the end of next week.
Yeah.
For a thing that is in 3 weeks. There's 10 students. They need $50 per student, split up into 2 payments of $250.
I feel like it is not unreasonable to have children ask their parents to do that, but whatever. I'm used to paying for clubs. I mean, my parents spent an unholy amount of money on my athletics as a child, so I don't know.
Yeah. So Wit's hitting them pretty harsh about like, hey, you don't actually have that money, and you made a promise that you don't know if you could keep.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure like what he says is it better not to make promises if you don't know you can keep them.
But Andrew, those are the best kind.
It's true. They are my favorite.
If I learned anything from Amazing Spider-Man, it's that the promises you can't keep are the best kind.
They're the most exciting, and I think that's the only thing worthwhile to take from that movie, and I would argue it's not that worthwhile.
See, I kind of like that movie.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, me too. I loved it.
It's a bad Spider-Man movie, but it's a good, like, a high school rom-com.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
And
it was like it was a form of a Twilight movie that I liked.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good point. It's like a Twilight movie for comic nerds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
100%.
With Andrew Garfield, had the same name. Like he was. I mean, like I looked up to Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man when it came out. I was like, man, when I'm in high school, I want to look like that adult who looks like he's in high school. And
well said.
Thank you. And you know who I want to end up with?
Emma Stone.
Yeah. A girl in high school who looks like she's an adult.
Yeah. So Olivia Wit's like, you don't have any of that money, right? And she's like, well, I don't have it just laying around. Oh wait, I do, because I have all that money from the relief fund that I wasn't able to donate because they were fully funded, and I can't give the money back, Mr. Whitaker, because I picked it up off the sidewalk from random strangers who were just giving me pocket change.
Yeah, she's panhandling. I mean, she's hustling
to get money for this relief fund for church that she then didn't get to use, and the organization wouldn't take it because the thing had already been closed.
Yeah, so what this episode is saying, I think, is accidentally very interesting. It got very much of like pink is not my color kind of vibes from this one, where it's like, so the premise is she's doing all this work and she gets well, I shouldn't get ahead of myself, actually. Can we talk about the phone call?
I mean, we've got a little bit before then.
Okay.
Because we've got Olivia talking Wit into chaperoning.
Oh yeah,
and then he offers to help raise the money with a coin jar that he's gonna put at the counter at Wit's End, and he'll put up signs and stuff. Mm-hmm. He's very much on her about trying to get the money back to the people, but she's like, yeah, I can't do that, so I'm just gonna sit on it forever. It's weird that part of the story is not concluded in this episode, that she never actually donates the $262 anywhere. That just bothered me as a loose thread.
Yeah.
Maybe it comes back. If it comes back in the Rydell Saga, don't tell us. If it comes back in another episode, let us know.
Maybe she's just waiting for Sunday. Maybe.
But she's had it there. She's had it for months.
Oh, you're right.
And so the whole thing is that like she was raising money for a very specific
cash to a
She was raising it for a very.
That seems like a very financially ill-advised situation, even for $262, which is not much in the grand scheme of like a church or something.
Yeah, but like she had this whole thing where she was like, she had a very specific relief fund that she wanted to raise money for, and she raised it for them, but she didn't raise it in time, and the relief fund had closed, and she couldn't give it to that charity, so she's just been sitting on the money for months now, and I wish that we got some conclusion to that, but we don't. And then Maury shows up.
And scares the living bejesus out of her.
Yep. And, there is... Olivia is
like, walk quieter.
Olivia, yeah. She is so dramatic and, like, over the top in a really fun way, and in a way that reminds me of the Acebo family, and specifically Grace.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
I had that realization listening to this episode where I was like, oh, shoot, Olivia's Andrew's sister.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Grace learned it from Colleen. I mean, my sisters are very independent of each other. Don't get me wrong if either of them are listening. I know they have on occasion. But, yeah, no. Mm-hmm. For sure. That sass, that response, oh, yeah.
They're just, like, extremely energetic and overdramatic, but not necessarily in a way that, like, bothers me.
No, it's just a lot of personality.
Just in a way that's very strong.
Like,
she's got a lot of personality,
and like grande, not necessarily bad, but just
and like
just a lot.
I think it's fun. Like I don't know, I like Olivia in this episode.
I would argue that pretty much everybody in my family is a very personality dense person.
What? Andrew, no, you're not personality dense.
No.
That's definitely not part of the reason this show works.
No. My personality is...
Yeah, you're so bland.
Yeah, well...
I
don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
All right. So then we have a... unsettling conversation between Mori and Suzu.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot for the life of me
figure out what their dynamic...
Yeah, their dynamic doesn't make any sense. It's like
sometimes
she's scheming with him, but she also is against him or doesn't know. So like here, they're talking about how they worked to get Olivia elected because they needed to go to the festival.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this better all work out in the end. This better make sense.
I genuinely don't think any of these episodes. I want to believe in the show that this is all going to tie together and make a ton of sense. I am skeptical at this point.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I mean, are we...
It's spread. This saga's spread out as 10 episodes over 100 episodes of the show.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, how is this going to work? I'm so concerned. Especially because it started off so strong and I'm slowly losing interest.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm still liking it, but like there has been a falling of quality for me.
Oh yeah. It's well, these episodes just haven't been as strong. The last episode was good. It was just meh.
convoluted.
Yeah. I mean, it was a solid 3 out of 5 stars. That's just we had some 4 or 4.5 stars before that, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So right. So here's the thing. Mori and Suzu got Olivia elected because they need to go to this festival.
Yes.
They manipulated the election, an election that involved 10 people. So, like, not much manipulation, but this is also kind of Mori's thing. Then, right. So I guess the Zoe was the other person that they could have catapulted to the win, but they didn't because they knew Olivia would get them to the festival.
Yeah.
And then Mori laughs sinisterly, and Suzu calls him out for it.
Yeah, and Suzu's like, you better not be involved with this. And then Mori's like, I just thought of something funny. Like that's it. That's his that's his explanation.
Right, because Suzu's like,
something funny.
Suzu's whole thing is there is no money in the fund, which she didn't know before she was treasurer. And so when she backed Olivia to get to the festival, she was like, oh, we probably can do it for the money. And now she's looking at the books and is like, okay, this cannot happen.
We don't have any money.
Yeah. And then, Andrew, do you want to explain the scene that follows?
Well, she gets a phone call from, and by she, I mean Olivia, on her presumably cell phone.
Yep, it's her cell phone. It's established as canon later. It is really weird to me. Still.
Yep. Odyssey 8th graders having cell phones, but these are the times we live in.
I know they are. Okay,
we gotta expect the unexpected. For better or for worse.
Get out of here. On the air.
On the air. Off the air.
Along for the ride.
Jeez.
Eugene returns. This
episode.
So the thing that's so weird is, like, I understand that it's relevant to the times that an 8th grader has a cell phone. That makes sense. However, Odyssey has never really been relevant to the times, and especially, like, focus on the family and just, like, conservative Christianity in general. The idea of, like, that, like, a middle schooler having a cell phone doesn't feel like something that they'd be that into.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess this came out in 2018. This came out, and right. I guess they might have caught up enough that, like, they think that it's reasonable for kids to have cell phones starting in middle school, which I feel like I had a cell phone in middle school, and, like, yeah, I think it's unfortunate that kids don't have to work for the stuff that they have as a child, depending on the circumstance, but, like, I definitely understand the fact that it's just incredibly practical and helpful and safer for your child because, you know, you can track their location depending on what's going on, constant communication, you know, security, I don't know, just helpful.
I got a cell phone when I was a senior in high school.
I got one. I got a slide phone when I was 13 because my parents kept leaving me at soccer practice.
I feel like we've talked about that before on the podcast.
Anyways, Andrew,
have. So speaking of the safety of cell phones, what happens with Olivia's cell phone?
She gets called by a stranger, and the stranger wants to give her money. And the stranger sounds delightful and could be potentially trustworthy, but also scary at the same time, which is just a testament to the wonders of the voice acting of the gentleman that we mentioned before, whose name I forget, who voices Rosie on F is for Family.
Kevin Michael Richardson.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's what I'm here for. Just call me Wikipedia.
I'm feeling ukulele. Call back. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about this. I'm listening to it. I was like, okay, I wanted to believe him. Basically, what he's doing is he's offering to match the money that she raises, and rightfully, she's skeptical. Me, when I heard it, I was like, okay, you know, at least hear what this guy has to say before you are resistant to him. She was resistant, Olivia. Smarter than me.
Yes, I was going to say, because she is a child getting a call from a man she does not know about money on her personal phone.
Yeah, no, that's terrifying. And
That
then
they
he
wouldn't
brings up
have. They
specific
wouldn't. It's not like they can
conversation.
look up the phone number, right? And then he word for word quotes what Olivia had told Whit.
Yeah.
Like he uses the same phrasing.
Yeah, and then Olivia takes that to convince herself that Whit is the one who has been doing this whole time. And the interesting thing that I think that this episode does in a very strange way is kind of in the fact that Whit is the god surrogate. People convince themselves that it's what God wants when they do stuff.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of
That's your take.
like,
I like
well,
it.
the mistake that she made was trusting this person that, like, or not necessarily trusting this person, but, like, believing that it was somebody's desire that was not explicitly expressed to them, but they were just reading into, and, like, yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I found
no,
that
this
a
is
very
this is a hot
interesting
take,
comment.
but I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like this episode deserves that level of introspection, but it definitely made it more enjoyable in I think this is accidentally kind of awesome way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the whole plan is that Olivia will text this person once she submits the first $250, and then that person will match her for the second $250.
Yep.
So there won't be any money exchanging hands between the two of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's completely safe for her in the sense that there's nothing for her personally on the line except for her word and his ability to accomplish the task.
Right, but
So,
she doesn't clock that.
No.
She doesn't consider that is what's at stake here, even though that is very much what the episode presents as at stake.
Yeah, yeah. And so Olivia goes for it and starts
She fills
collecting.
she fills in Zoe, Maury, and Suzu. And Maury's the one who's like, I think this is a bad idea. I mean,
Did you tell
some
your
random
parents?
stranger. Yeah. And I'm like, Maury, shut up. We all know it's you.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt this episode. It's like, Maury, shut up.
Yeah. Maury needs to shut up sometimes.
I'm waiting for it.
But yeah.
Maury's got to get cooler, right?
I know. I don't know. Next episode.
You can tweet at me if Maury gets cooler.
No,
I don't want to
don't.
know how. I don't want to know anything else. Just tweet at me. He gets cooler. Like, he gets cooler. Okay. Just put that part of me at ease. # don't spoil the Rydell Saga.
The most important hashtag of our time.
Yup.
Olivia, so there's this whole thing where Olivia is psyching herself into this being a Whit scheme.
Yeah.
That she's like, Whit wouldn't want to just give me the money, but he wants me to, like, he's got the money, he wants us to have it, but he also wants me to, like, show initiative and do this and be able to, like, prove that I can, like, do on this. So this is actually Whit in disguise. He's the only person who could have done this. It's Whit. And then they go hard to work to get all the money. So there's a montage wherein Olivia gets a door slammed on her. Maury gets water splashed on him while he's trying to do a car wash.
Yeah.
Olivia gets a sock full of pennies.
Yeah.
She shows up at Zoe's house, and Zoe's like, Olivia,
A dirty
my
sock full of
house.
pennies.
Yeah, that's true. And then at the end of this all, $250.
$250.
Just barely.
Yeah.
She's submitted the money, and she's waiting for the call from Jordan with the group, and then she gets told to come home by her mom.
Yeah.
And then we hear her leaving a message on Jordan's machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then Maury sneaks up on her, and we find out, that's his thing.
He sneaked.
That and cell phones. And we find out it's been a week and they still haven't heard anything or raised more money. So they are basically out of time and have no money.
Yeah. Which, why wouldn't they have raised more money if they still hadn't heard from him? I mean, just believing that was, like, I don't know. I feel like you give him, like, a day or so and then you just don't have anything to lose, because then, I don't know, you just have a little bit more money for the drama club,
Yeah.
I feel like that could be valuable.
Yeah.
And also,
So-
the thing that this episode says that I'm not a huge fan of is I feel like it is looked down on by the community that this girl is raising money for her middle school drama club, which in the community and culture that I grew up in, that woman would have $250 by like the third house if she picked the right neighborhood.
Well,
Like-
and it's so weird for Odyssey to have like all this montage of people not being nice to the children.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
Like,
very
it's
weird. But like,
Odyssey.
that's the bit. Yeah, I mean, that is the bit,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Yeah, but it's such a trite bit.
yeah. It doesn't feel in character.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they just picked the wrong neighborhood. I guess that's the caveat.
Yeah.
They're eighth
Yeah,
graders.
they should have gone to wherever Eric Colburn lived.
Yeah. Or just pick a local school district that has a lot of money.
Yeah. Just go over to, I don't know, the Connellsville district. Just stay out of Oswald Heights,
Yeah.
So maybe Odenton. And so oh wait, Richland. The joke was Richland. Of course the joke is Richland. I hate myself. I'm sorry.
Wow. That's the left hook, Richland. Wow. That's the
Yeah.
rich place. Okay, cool.
Yep. There was an Odyssey name.
that's
that
a
had
real
Rich in it.
forest
It was
mountain.
right in front of me. It is a real forest mountain. Dang it,
That's a
Andrew.
real
Thanks for
trick.
making the joke better.
Real Trickle Lake situation we got here. But no.
Richland!
No old West Fun World.
No. Okay, so
She gets the money.
what? No, she doesn't have the money.
No. She has. Yeah,
So
she has the $250.
she's still convinced it's Wit. After a week goes by and they still haven't got it. So they go to Wit's End. Maury tries to order coffee and Wit shuts him down and says, no, you have to go to a coffee shop for that, which is a
'Cause he gets
weird
a-
bit.
Yeah, he gets a coconut milk dark chocolate macchiato. Yes, I remembered it because I was like, that drink is probably not as fancy as they think it is. And the truth of the matter is, it's not. It's just a latte where you put the sauce on, or you put the espresso on after the milk foam. That's it. That's
Right,
what
but
macchiato is.
But he is a child trying to sound fancy and order coffee at Wit's End.
Also, that's probably terrible because coconut milk does not steam well and does not make a good macchiato. All right, so like eighth grader Maury, get out.
Yeah.
Cashew
out.
milk or almond milk, not coconut milk. Mm-mm.
Okay. And this has been Milk Corner with Andrew.
I don't know how I feel about Milk Corner.
And
Can you imagine? We got Milk Corner. A
recurring
corner
bit.
just for milk.
There's no fridge in the corner.
No, just crates of milk.
It's gonna spoil.
Gotta drink it fast.
Why is that the joke that got me?
I don't know. It's because we're both hungry.
So Olivia lays it on really thick with Wit about this whole about the whole money thing. And Wit's like, oh yeah, I've got the coin jar here for you. And, gives her the $20 that they collected. And Olivia is, kind of freaking out and being like, well, wait, but you would have had to. But the thing I appreciate that it does is that she figures it out without out loud accusing Wit of it. Like, Wit doesn't know the mistake that she made, and I just am glad, because it just saves my secondhand embarrassment a wee bit.
Oh, yeah, no. It totally does. The whole... And you can hear it in her voice of her being disappointed. He's like, oh, yes, I'll get the money. And then he brings it out, and I was like, oh, man, he's not going to have the money. There's no way this is what she thinks it is, right?
Yep, it's the coin jar.
Yeah, it's just clank, probably $12 and change from the ice cream that Wit actually sells for money, which apparently is every, not child he serves? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah.
We didn't talk about the joke that Olivia made about eating, what was it, raspberry double fudge ripple or something like that. It was some chocolate raspberry decadent thing, and I was like, wow, that sounds like a guy talking about what he thinks women like in ice cream.
I mean, it sounds like tasty ice cream.
Oh yeah, no, I literally had a chocolate raspberry ice cream bar last night, and it was great.
Sign me up. So then Olivia goes to Maury and explains that, okay, Whit wasn't the person. We're not going to have the money. We have 2 days. We have $230 to raise. And Maury is like, oh, any chance you just have that money laying around?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I figured out the point of this episode at this point. I was like, okay, I think I got it. Mm-hmm. This was Maury's plan. He wanted to show, like, he wanted Olivia to fall short so that he could say that, like, oh, she's, like, he put her in this situation so that she will use that money to prove that, like, she is corruptible and doesn't really, like, practice what she believes. And I was like, I am so convinced that this is Maury's thing, and this is, like, now I'm like, this is the lens at which I'm going to view Maury through going forward, which is that, like, he's trying to, like, prove that these people are not as good as they seem in this perfect little small town.
Yeah, oh no, that's 100% it, yeah.
Well, and the episode confirms that quite well, and I felt very validated.
You should. Chalk Squad, I would like for all of you to give Dylan one validation for him guessing it before the episode was over.
And yeah, otherwise, like, I don't know where you were at theory-wise, but I, from the get-go, was like, Maury hired this guy.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I made the mistake
of,
I listened to it on the OA Club, and, like, just by tapping on the episode to select it, the summary came up, like, a little bit.
Oh, no.
And it, like, spoiled just the fact that it was a Maury plan. And I was like, man.
Hey, don't do that, AIO Club.
It's okay. I mean, it's not really okay. It's kind of disappointing, actually.
Yeah. All right. So then Suzu and Zoe show up at Olivia's house, and we find out that the fee has been paid, that they're going on the trip. And Olivia's like, it was paid by an anonymous donor, and Suzu and Zoe are like, dude, why did you give the relief fund money? Like, that obviously is what happened. And I, as the person listening, was like, that obviously is what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know at all.
Well, and my thing was, I didn't even necessarily know where she had gotten the money or what had happened, because I didn't connect it with the relief fund. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I just assumed that she didn't. My mind went to, this is kind of like Breaking Bad. But I don't think that she cooked meth for this. And then I found out the answer, which was she took it out of her college fund because she had a promise that she needed to fulfill.
Yeah, so she shows them the $262 for the fund, being like, hey, didn't take this. And then I was like, I paused it at that point and was like, all right, I got it. Olivia sold something expensive to get the money. It's going to be like a I don't know, kind of like a Gifts for Magi Guy kind of deal.
Yeah.
You like that I said that rather than Gift of the Magi, which is the real story? Odyssey has screwed me.
It's not the real story. Nah.
No, it's about hair
Will
and
Ryan.
a tortoiseshell coat or hairbrush and Will Ryan. Anyways, so they're then like, okay, Suzu and Zoe are like, so how did you do this? How did you get the money? And Olivia's like, all right, I took it out of my own college fund because I knew I needed to keep the promise. I talked to my parents. They were like, yes, this is the right call. And because it's my own money, I was allowed to do it. And so that's what I did because I needed to keep my word. So you guys all enjoy the trip.
Yeah, no, it was really, like, it was just surprisingly wholesome end.
I was so proud of Olivia.
Yeah, she definitely did the right thing.
Yeah.
And let's finish the episode, finish covering the episode, and then we can talk about it.
I mean, So the only other thing for this scene is that Olivia then resigns and nominates Zoe to be her replacement.
Yeah. As we mentioned before, Olivia then resigns because she kind of realizes that, like, maybe this isn't what she is, like, what she wants. And maybe this isn't what's good for her. And then the final scene is Mori talking to Suzu about everything. And Suzu...
And this is where Mori says... So Suzu fills in Mori, and then Mori says, "Unbelievable. She really is one of those people who practices what she preaches, at least this time." And I was like, yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
You're right. 100%. He's just trying to call out the phonies.
Yep.
And this is the very interesting angle. So he's like, I'll just read it. "So let me ask you, is everything the drama club did and that Olivia
Wait. We have to establish first. Maury then slips up and says something about, like, hey, wouldn't it be
Jordan,
weird
that's right.
if Jordan called her up after the festival to give her the money? And Suzu's like, how did you know his name? And he's like, well, Olivia told me. And she's like, no, she didn't. Maury,
you've been meddling again.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why do I get the feeling you're involved with all this?
Because he's the bad guy.
Yep. And then this is when Maury gets extra sinister.
Yeah. He said, so let me ask you, is everything the drama club did and that Olivia did and what she didn't do, is all of that good?
Well, I suppose so. Yes.
Then instead of being suspicious of your brother, why can't you think of him as someone who brings out the good in people?
Roll credits, literally.
The protagonist. Ooh. It's a very interesting character angle. I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. He's wrong. Like, the idea that, so like the idea is like, yeah. So like, they needed to go to this festival, and he was pretty well convinced that Olivia could make it happen, and she did. So that's a win in my book, and I'm a good person, and yeah, and I'm like, no, dude,
you still lied to her.
You still really suck, and you're being manipulative,
a great,
and I don't.
Wonderful voice actor to do so.
Yeah,
I can't believe him. Why would he use him like that? I forgot his name again. You already reminded me. Michael Richardson.
Kevin Michael Richardson.
Kevin Michael Richardson.
Final thoughts on the episode, Andrew.
I thought it was good in ways that I don't think it was intending to be. I loved the montage. It was fun. Thoughts on this episode was that it was enjoyable. Nice. I don't know how it's going to fit into the greater Rydell Saga. The arcs that we've covered, I'm kind of like, this... I would suspect this kind of episode at the beginning of Novacom. I would expect this kind of build at a very long arc with a lot of payoff that I don't know that this arc is going to have.
It does have a 3-part conclusion.
Yeah,
so
it has
maybe
a 3-part
it'll all
conclusion,
wrap in nicely.
Presumably centered around the drama festival.
I doubt it, but maybe. I don't know. It's 3 weeks away, and I feel like the next episode is Sacrificial Escape, which definitely doesn't involve the drama festival.
Yep.
Unless it does, and I don't remember it. Maybe like there's a line where they're all at the drama festival, but no, Suzu's there for Sacrificial Escape. So who knows? But yeah, I didn't.
What did you think, Dylan?
It was an enjoyable listen. I just don't get the point of it. I think the plot is once again convoluted, and I just keep getting this feeling that like Maury's plan isn't actually going to be satisfying to me because it's been all of these disconnected episodes. So either it's going to be incredible and all of these disconnected episodes are going to be tied together brilliantly, or I'm just going to be sad about it.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly where I'm at too. And I'm going to choose to be optimistic and say that maybe they pull one out of their hat. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. The other thing I wanna bring up here at the end that I did find out through Lee and Gianna is the fact that all of these there were like articles and like stories within the Clubhouse magazine, which is focused on the family's kids magazine, that go along with this whole saga and like have like other stories that I guess tie in to some extent. Spent a decent amount of time trying to find out if there's any way to buy back issues of Clubhouse on the internet to get those, or if anybody had reposted the stories or anything like that. Wasn't able to find anything, so hopefully like it's not one of those things where we really like lose out by not having access to that. Because if it is, that's gonna bug me even more.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, really crucial to you enjoying this is like random articles in a magazine for kids. But also, I mean, I don't know, it's brand integration, I guess.
Well, and they definitely have done that. And what I kind of wanted to say about the Rydell Saga is I think I would really, really enjoy it if I was listening to it non-sequentially.
You're saying like if you were listening to it in real time?
Yeah, not even necessarily in real time, but like if I was not listening to just the Rydell Saga. If I was just listening through all the albums sequentially and I heard the Rydell episodes, I feel like I would probably enjoy them more.
That's
like,
maybe
true.
This
like
we're definitely
this recurring cast of characters. Blah, blah,
we're
blah.
definitely setting ourselves up for failure in some ways.
Well, we've covered Blackguard and Novacom, and those are 2 30-plus episodes.
Right, they're really involved arcs, but they also like we know the greater context around them.
Yeah.
When we are talking about like Darkness Before Dawn stuff, we're able to reference a bunch of Eugene and Katrina stuff because we just have that in our back pocket.
It's true.
We know none of the greater context here, which is maybe working against us.
Yeah, I think I think you make a very, very strong point, and I'm very comfortable ending this episode on my lack of knowledge. So,
all right,
I'm willing to go out on that.
Anything you want to plug, Andrew?
Just the plug the Chalk Squad. You guys are great. I met somebody at school, and who was a fan of the podcast, and I met him because of that, and that was really cool. Yeah. So I just want to say that I'm really thankful for all of you guys who listen and care about this weird show that me and Dylan make. So thank you.
Yeah. I'll thank everyone as well, especially as we are coming up. This is our 99th episode of the podcast.
Wow, we did not talk about that at all. I feel like
that's
would
fine.
Have been worth it.
No, because next episode's the one where we care about it.
It's true.
So next week we're going to come back with episode 877, which is a sacrificial escape. We covered that episode about a year ago.
Yeah.
Literally like give or take a week. And so, yeah.
We covered that after covering A Case of the Secret Room, which was with my brother, because that was about an escape room and it was a new episode. Yep. But it also was in the Rydell Saga, which we mentioned before that we might potentially be covering. So we're really excited to cover it again for our 100th episode, and it was totally all Dylan's idea. So I'm not taking any credit.
So we're doing that as our 100th episode. We'll be talking about the episode some, probably not a ton because, we already did it, but we'll have new takes, I'm sure. And we'll have a special guest, and we'll get to talk about, I don't know, my kind of idea for it is that we're going to wind up talking about we're going to talk a lot about the show, like our show as a whole, and have fun stuff that way, more than we're going to be talking about the episode. But we'll see what happens.
Thank you so much.
We'll see
what
everything happens next week. With
yeah.
Episode 877, A Sacrificial Escape. Again. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
WadFam Chalk Pod is a presentation of the Linux Podcast Co-op. Follow the podcast at WadFam Chalk Pod on Twitter and Instagram, or email us at wadfamchalkpod@gmail.com. The Secret of the Writer's Ruse was hosted by Dylan Weaver and Andrew Acebo, and edited by Dylan Weaver. and I'm Nathan Haverstick, hoping you'll join us again next time for more of the Wad Fam Chalk Pod.